Hello everyone, it's Vitrosity back with another Minecraft video. Today we are going to be going over how to make an XP shop in version 1.10.2. So I'm going to go ahead and walk over here. We're in survival, give myself 10 experience levels, and I'm going to make my way over to the buy station where I'm buying a diamond sword for 5 levels. So there's one, and I'm going to buy a second one, and now I'm unable to buy a third. I'm out of levels, but I will show you the target selectors that are responsible for allowing that to happen. Now I'll move over here to the sell station where I'm going to sell both of these diamond swords for 3 levels apiece, and that'll leave me with 6 levels in the end. So I'm going to switch over to creative so I can show you the commands inside. The first one in the buy station is /give at P with the experience level minimum of 5 and within the radius of 4. Then we have our item here, the diamond sword, and then the quantity of 1. So here the target selectors are what's important, the most important part of this. If you haven't checked out my target selector videos, it's a 2-part video. It goes into a lot more detail on the different types of target selectors and what they specifically do overall. I'm just going to go over how they function just for this specific situation. So the level minimum of 5 here, the value of 5 is your price, so that can be, any number you'd be willing to charge for your specific item. And the radius of 4 is also very important, especially when it comes into multiplayer servers, maybe playing with your friends, and when it gets into a shop setting, because you need to be within that radius but be the only person in that radius as well as the closest person to the command block, this first command block here. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the second one. Take a note here that the settings for this command block is chain, conditional, and always active, whereas for the first one it was the default, which was impulse, unconditional, and needs redstone. For the command we have /xp and then -5l, which is the -5 levels, and then at p with the target selectors of the XP level minimum of 5 and within the radius of 5. Now, the radius differs by 1 unit distance, and I will explain that later when I'm in the shop, but it has something to do with the distance you will be from the command block when it's all set up like this. Now down here in the sell station we have the command /clear and then at P within the radius of 4. You don't need a level minimum here. And then a Minecraft diamond sword, and then that can actually just be 1. The 0 is any for different variations of that. But again, this is just the radius here is important when you put it in the shop, and especially when you have multiple people on the server as well. For the second command block here, again, the settings are the same as the buy station, chain, conditional, and always active. And this is the simplest command that we have so far, is /xp, the 3 levels that you get for selling the sword, and then at p within the radius of 5, again, 1 more than the radius of 4 in the previous one. So let's go ahead and I will show you how this is set up here in the shop. I kind of, built a little bit of a mock shop here, a little bit of an example. So I've got the sell on top and the buy on the bottom. So now I'm going to explain the radius target selector and why that's so important here in this situation. Now, this radius for the buy, what is this? The buy? Yes, it is the buy. The radius for the buy first command block is 4. So when you're figuring out the radius, this is how you're able to do it. The command block that it's in is 1. And then you have this block is 2, 3, and 4. So I have to be standing right here in order to buy the sword. And so now, when I look at this command block, if this value was 4, I'd have to be standing here, right up next to the button. And then if you stand right here, if it's set to be 4, 4, you could stand right here on this block, just outside the reach of the second command block, which subtracts the experience, and you could just keep getting diamond swords all day because it'll never subtract your experience. And the same thing with the sell as well. but this time I have it set for radius equal to 5 and radius equal to 6 due to the fact that they're elevated. If you split them up so they're both on the ground, maybe the buy on this side and then behind it there's a sell station over here, then you don't necessarily have to do that, and you could leave it at 4 and 5 as well, but because it's elevated, I have it at 5 and 6. And this is the same reason that it's 5 and 6 and not 5 and 5, because you could stand here and you hit the button and it'd take your sword, but it would not give you the 3 levels of experience for that. And then also another thing for the radius is you need the radius in there, because if you just select the closest player, say I only have 4 experience levels and it's 5 to buy this sword, and I don't have the radius target selector in there, so I'll go ahead and click this button, and if I'm on a multiplayer server, it'll pass over me because I don't have the required levels. It'll go to the nearest person that has the 5 levels, and so that could be someone that's 100 blocks away, and they'll wind up with a diamond sword in their inventory and 5 less experience levels. So that's obviously something that you have to watch out for when you're typing in the commands, is that you make sure that you put in the radius target selector. And then the same thing for the sell as well, because otherwise people are just going to be losing their diamond swords and getting experience levels, and that's obviously not a good thing when it's someone that doesn't intend for that to happen. And so another thing here for the radius is that you want it to be within a certain area, because if someone is here within, say you've got a couple of these lined up here, maybe another one right here on the stair block, another one here, and then another one here by this diamond block, you want to make sure that it's not so far that say another person's right here buying something, you don't want to press this button and you not have the experience levels, and kind of the same thing before, where they'll be in the circle as well and they have the experience levels, and then they'll get them subtracted and they'll end up getting the diamond sword as well. So it's kind of another thing. You want to make it small so that you can be the only person in there, but you also don't want to have to come up here right next to the button and press it every time. You kind of wanted to have a little bit of that convenience. So I believe that's all for the video today. That's all I've wanted to go over. If you have any questions, I will be posting a blog on Planet Minecraft for any questions on there. And of course, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If that's easier for you, I will answer those as quickly as possible. Thank you for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this involving the shops and the command blocks. Subscribe for more content spanning a whole bunch of different types of video games. Really getting into a lot of Let's Plays, working on some Polybridge as well. And until next time, Vitrosity out.